about like be yourself, but who are you? It seems like we should know. It seems simple enough. But I did a little Google search on how to be yourself, and page upon page of articles on just that popped up. So it's not just a mystery to me. It must be a mystery to a lot of us to figure out who we really are. I turn 40 next month, so I've been on a bit of a quest to sort of explore this idea of who I really am. I've been reading a lot of books, taking courses and workshops, and I've done a lot of exploring. And I feel like now at 39, almost 40, I'm finally tuning in to who I really am as a woman, as a person, as a mom. So who am I? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a niece, I'm a friend and a neighbor, I'm a teacher by trade, I'm also an entrepreneur. But those are just labels, roles that I play. That's not all of who I am. I'm not just a mom, I'm not just a daughter. There's more to me than that. I'm a runner. I'm a huge fan of English history, the Tudors, my favorite thing in the world. I love activewear and coffee and yoga with Adrienne. There's so many things that I love, but it's still not all of who I am. I'm also a lover of words. I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to cool, unique, interesting words. And one of the words that we hear a lot about, and especially in personal development and growth, is be authentic. But what does it mean to be authentic? Like, to me, I hear it. I've heard Oprah say it a dozen times, but I'm still not really sure what it means. So I looked up the definition, and this idea of being true to your personality, to your spirit or character. Okay, that kind of resonates with me a bit. So being true to yourself, but again, another word, what does true mean? How do we know when we're being true to ourselves? And what I love about this definition is the idea of being heartfelt from the heart. So I feel like when we act from our heart in accordance with what our heart is telling us, that's sort of leading us to what it means to truly be yourself. So on this wonderful journey of mine, I was thinking about, okay, when were some times when maybe I wasn't true to myself, when I didn't follow my heart? And I don't have too many regrets, but one that really sticks out, and this happened 30 years ago, it still bothers me, is I didn't audition for the honor choir in my town. I love to sing, I was always singing, and the choir director had told me that, just do the audition, I guarantee you a spot. And I didn't do it. I still said no. And it's kind of, I think it bothers me so much because I missed out on such a wonderful opportunity to be part of this wonderful group of singers that traveled the world, and I still said no. I had let one word stop me from doing something that I love, that came from my heart, and that word was fear. I was too afraid to stand up one time for one audition, and that stopped me from visiting Austria with a group of my friends. Another regret that I sort of have is my senior prom. I asked the guy who grew up down the street from me to go as my date, instead of asking the guy that I really wanted to go with. And again, fear. I like to say that I was afraid he'd say no, but I think I was more afraid that he would actually say yes. And what would that mean? So fear. Again, lover of words. And today we're all about being fearless. So instead of looking at the word fear, I'm embracing this idea of fearless, being free from fear. But I don't know about you, but the idea of being fearless scares me. I am not brave enough, I'm not courageous enough to be completely fearless. But as a teacher, looking at words, let's break this one down. Fearless, you break it down, is fearless. I'm not brave enough to be fearless, but I'm brave enough to fear a little bit less every day. So what does that mean, fearing less? Being afraid of something, but still walking into our fears. So I thought back to times when I was afraid, but I did it anyway. I can remember the first time I went out dancing at a nightclub. I was worried that people were going to judge the quality of my dance moves or lack thereof, But I did it anyway, and it ended up being the most fun. Still going out dancing with my friends is always the best time out. I was halfway through a degree in psychology when I decided, you know what? I'm going to switch degrees. I'm going to switch universities. I ended up starting over from scratch. That was kind of scary, but it ended up being a great experience. I sought therapy for a bout of depression that was taking over my life. And I ended up having to do it a second time. And finally, okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm good now. But sometimes that anxiety and depression takes over, and it's scary to take that first step to ask for help. I started dating a father of 3 kids, who not just a father of 3 kids, but a father of 3 kids who leaves and sails for months at a time. I married him, so it worked out. I started taking a boxing boot camp class. I became a runner. I started taking a splits training class. Yes, there is an actual class where they teach you how to do the splits. That's my goal for this year. So I'm hoping by December I will be there. I'm getting close. So another thing about me is that I love documentaries. Netflix is awesome, and I was recently watching a documentary on yoga. And one of the yogis in the documentary said that it's difficult to find yourself. And that kind of hit me because I'm thinking this yogi, this master of body, mind, and spirit, thinks it's difficult to figure out who you really are. How are the rest of us supposed to figure this stuff out? You know, we've come through, difficult situations. I've walked into fear before, but how do we do it ourselves? So I came up with a few ideas to help you all out. So the first thing is to pay attention. Think back to when you were little and the experiences that made you the happiest, the times you had the most fun, the times you felt the most free and sort of in sync and at peace with the world. Pay attention to those. For me, it was singing, and I denied that part of myself. But I also used to love running around and playing, but I used to skip gym class. I hated it. And now I'm a gym teacher by times. But being in love with moving my body and the science behind it, that's what took me from my degree in psychology to pursuing human kinetics to where I am now doing fitness events. Pay attention to those things in your past that made you feel alive. Also, think about the ideas that keep popping into your head. I thought about starting my business for years before I took that first step. People would tell me, you need to do this as a business. No, I'm not good enough. It's just for fun. But what are these things, these ideas that keep popping into your head? What do you gravitate towards? Is there a certain kind of book or activity that you keep sort of being drawn to? There's a reason for that. Pay attention to it. I also believe that it's important to pay attention to what might seem like a coincidence. I heard 3 different speakers share a similar message before I realized I need to listen to this. And I was recently reading a book, and I got to one paragraph, and I had to put the book down because I was like, this dude wrote that for me to read right now. And, he didn't, but that meant there was a lesson from what I just read. Pay attention to those moments. Things happen for a reason. Tune into it. That's sort of that key, listening to your gut, your heart, tuning you into what's really important to you. Don't apologize. Especially as women, we apologize for everything. We apologize for apologizing. Stop apologizing. You are a unique person. You deserve to be happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy. If you want to start mountain climbing and your partner doesn't, do it anyway. My husband only runs when the fleet makes him run, and I sign up for multiple races every year because that's what makes me happy. And we were having a talk recently about, personal development and all this stuff, and he said to me, it's not my job to make you happy. It's my job as your husband to support you in making yourself happy. I was like, oh my God. I've been spending so much time trying to make him happy. No, I just need to support him in his own journey. So really stop apologizing. Do what makes you happy. So every time I put on my sneakers and hit the road, I'm like, bye, see ya. I stop saying, sorry, I'll only go on a little run. I'll only go on a short run today. No, I go out, I go for as long as I need to go. Create a supportive environment. We've heard mention of that tribe. Find your tribe and love them hard. You need that group of cheerleaders. I mean, if a yogi says it's difficult to find yourself, this is a tough journey. You need people that are going to support you, that are going to be there for you no matter what. I was getting texts this morning from friends and family, you know, just you got this. And knowing that people, I'm from Nova Scotia, thousands of miles away right now are thinking about me and sending me sort of that positive energy, that's an amazing feeling. So my tribe is family and friends. It's even some people I've never even met. So my tribe, my family, like parents, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, they've all got my back. My friends here and back in Nova Scotia. My tribe consists, my business coach over here, we went to high school together, but she's now an expert business coach for women. And she was the one who encouraged me to step away from weddings and things that weren't helping my business grow and to focus on fitness. And since then it's like, light bulb, why didn't I think of that? But you need people that are gonna help you see what you can't see. Up here, my best friend, she's also a fitness entrepreneur. We encourage each other, support each other through motherhood, through, you know, dealing with friends, dealing with being an entrepreneur. Authors. The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin is what sort of started me on my quest that led to me being here today, as well as the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. If you haven't checked that out or listened to her TED Talk, you need to. I saw the Facebook post looking for speakers for today, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is a terrifying idea. It's kind of scary to be in front of people speaking, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go before fear could talk me out of it, because fear is going to talk you out of it every single time. So don't give it a chance. Instagram accounts. Loving Myself Loudly really focuses on body acceptance and loving yourself for who you are. Angie B. Hotz up at the top there, she's a doula in Oregon, I believe, but she creates these awesome cards, motivational cards, some with swearing, some without. And every day I flip to a new one to sort of give me my mantra, my focus for the day. The Spiritual Athlete, she's an executive coach and fitness trainer, but she taught me that my mood and my energy levels are in my control, and that's a powerful thing to have, knowing that a bad morning doesn't mean a bad day. You can change things around. And the last fellow over here, Leon Logothetis, his documentary, the Kindness Diaries, I saw on Netflix, and since then I'm reading everything he's written, and I follow him closely. He just believes in spreading kindness. And I believe, you know, it's important to be kind. You don't know what battle someone has gone through. You know, I've experienced depression, and I may not look like it, but many of you may have gone through a similar situation. I experienced a miscarriage, and that's something that not a lot of women talk about, and I was super open about it, and the people around me were like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to act, and it really taught me that you really don't know what someone is going through. Just be kind. Your moment of kindness may change their entire life. So you really need to find that group of people that are going to support you. So find your tribe, love them hard. And fear less. You don't have to worry about being fearless all the time. But I truly believe that everybody can fear a little bit less every day. So I want you now to think about what's something you've always thought of doing, whether it's yoga or running a marathon or starting a business or reaching out to a long-lost friend. During the break, I want you to take the first step towards doing that. Don't let fear stop you. Go and sign up for that yoga class. Send the money before you can take it back and rethink your decision. Send an email to say, hey, I want to talk to you about this idea I have. Do it before you stop yourself. So focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. Because yeah, it's intimidating thinking of being here on a stage speaking in front of you, but at the same time, it feels amazing, and I know it was so worth it, and I would hate to have missed out on this opportunity. So I invite you to pay attention. Don't apologize for doing what makes you happy, not what makes someone else happy, for doing what makes you happy. Your journey is your own. It's not going to look like mine or the person next to you or behind you. Gather that group, that tribe around you. Let them encourage you. Borrow your strength from them if you have to. And be yourself fearlessly. Thank you.